I think I finally found the correct designation for my job. I work as a ceramics hydro technician, but most people would call that a dishwasher. That is my day job, and it is also one of the best jobs I've ever had. And it's perfect for my current situation as a up and coming comic artist. Whenever I asked my mentor, Nick Patera, what the best day job for me to have was, he'd always say something like pushing carts or being a waiter would be the best type of job to have. And I was wondering, like, wouldn't it be something that would make me a lot of money, or something that I could save up a lot with? That maybe if I took a course in being a pharmacy tech or a tech course, I could make a lot of money doing that. But what he was getting at was to get the type of job that doesn't require too much mental bandwidth, that doesn't require you to expend too much mental and physical energy on trying to perform it, so that when you can come home, you have more energy to draw. Every time I came back from the Kubert school, I would look up what type of day job to get. Something that would pay the bills, but also allow me to create my art. And this was back when I was living with parents, but I was wondering what I would do when I finally moved out. Would I be a teacher? Would I be a waiter? Would I actually work as an artist or an animator for a company and then try to do my art after work? But I realized that my brain doesn't work like that. It doesn't have the capacity to do art as a job and then come home and try to also be creative at home. It just doesn't have the bandwidth to do that. And so I came up with a few easy criteria by which to judge the perfect day job to have as a up and coming artist. You want it to be something that's easy to do, doesn't create too much mental stress, makes enough money, and doesn't tire you out physically. Very little variability in the hours. You want to go to the job at the same time every day, come back home at the same time every day, and let there be little to no variation in the hours. That's pretty much it. My current job as a dishwasher is perfect for me because it doesn't require anything above my skill level, my current skill level. Like, the energy I expend on it is almost negligible. I get let me paint this picture for you and explain my current job situation. One, I don't have kids. I don't have a relationship. I don't have anyone dependent or reliant on me. So the job I have is perfectly suitable for taking care of myself and paying my rent and just keeping this living situation going forward. I don't have a commute to get to work. I just walk maybe 10 minutes max there and back every day. So I save on gas. I eat free every single day, and it's really good food. I work in a college diner, and that allows me to save on groceries, and it's good eats pretty much every single day. And because I work at a school or at a college, I get spring break, winter break, and summer break off. I don't have to work throughout that entire time span. So what I do is I find art jobs that I can take during that time frame to make up the lack of income that I'm missing from my actual job, while still having my health benefits and dental benefits and all that, insurance benefits. The only drawback is how little I get paid. That's the only thing that's keeping me from recommending this for everybody as a broad statement. In fact, if I wasn't a comic artist, I would actually just be content doing this job every day. Anytime that we go on break from the job and the job comes back on that Monday, or it comes back after a long time, it's like, okay, everyone, it's time to get back to work. It should be like, oh man, I have to go back to work. It's Monday. I hate this. But I feel none of that. I'm like, oh wow, free eats. Can't wait to get back to work. It's literally like I'm excited to get back to it, or I don't feel that downward spiral. When I was working at a warehouse or as a mover on the moving job, the variability in hours would be insane. One day I could be let off early because a job canceled and we could just go home. Another day I'd have to work 12 hours from morning to night, and even like midnight, especially at the warehouse, where different times of the year would demand more work because of the influx of demand of the product we were selling, like furniture or what have you. And the variability in hours on the moving job would come from how much was needed to be moved per day. And then even when I was done with those jobs, I was so physically exhausted that I couldn't really get into drawing again, because all I wanted to do was sleep afterward. That being said, the warehouse job as a cherry picker was one of my most interesting jobs, and it was probably the most fun I've had on a job site, even though it was very late nights and a lot of heavy lifting. It was fun because I got to drive around this little this cherry picker machine. It was a lift, and you had to wear a harness, and you could go up and down in the aisles and whatnot. And I took so many videos of just my my experience working there, because it was just fun. At this current dishwashing job, it's like I'm overqualified for what I'm doing. So like, people are like, oh wow, you're so strong, or how are you lifting that trash into the trash can? And it's like, this is nothing. And then the fact that I get to eat every single day for free is that's mainly what I signed up for this job for. The fact that the commute was nothing and that I could eat whenever. That was what mainly got me to sign up for this job. And so I come home every single day with almost zero stress. Like, I can go from working the regular 8-hour shift at my day job, which never changes, which never varies, come home and then almost instantly go straight into drawing or writing or doing whatever I need to do to make my comics thing happen on the side. I can go straight into it because there's no stress from working a day job. I don't even call it a shitty day job. It's just a day job, and it's not a heavily stressful job that actually weighs on my mind. It's like, it allows me to do what I'm trying to do. The only thing is that it's hard to say what I'm doing at parties or whatever. It's like, yeah, I work at a restaurant, and it's pretty cool. It's at a college and stuff, you know. But I just found out the name of it that I could give to people, like, oh, I don't wash dishes. That's for losers. I am a ceramics hydro technician. And our job is actually very complicated, and we just, you know, that's what we do. So that's the term I'll be using from here on out. Ceramics hydro technician. It just came to me while I was at work. And so I thought of my options this way. And if I was smart, I would do it like this. I would go back home, live with my parents, save up money, work a decent job that'll make a lot of money. Do that for a number of years or so. Save up a lot of money so that I can leave home, move out on my own, and then dedicate all my time towards working on comics and making that a full-time gig with my savings. But I'm not smart. I'm stubborn. So doing it this way, I can still have that time and space to work on my own and to do my own stuff. I just need to suffer it out right now while I have no money to create the comics that I want to create while I'm working this type of job. The only thing that is quote unquote bad about the situation is just going home to parties and being like, oh yeah, I do dishes and make comics and stuff. But that's the only thing. Other than that, it's a very decent working situation. The other option I thought of was working at a comic company or working for animation to make decent money creating art. But the thing is like, I'm too stubborn to create somebody else's vision, to make somebody else's vision alive. It's almost like I need to create my own comics and make my own stories. And that's why I'm willing to work at this job, not just for 5 years or, 2 to 5 years. I'm willing to work at it for the next 10 years or even 15 years. If that's how long it takes for me to create my work to the level that I want to create it and to make a full-time living at my own comics without having to work for a middleman or work for a different company, I'm willing to take that. I'm willing to be looked down upon for the next 15 years if it means that I actually can one day work for myself and never have to answer to anybody. That's the main reason why I want to work on my own comics, is so that I never have to answer to anyone and do what they tell me to. I just want my own freedom. That's the only thing I work towards. And I'll suffer anything that I need to suffer to get to it. Basically, you just want to find a job that works with your own capacities as a person. Like, if you're good at certain things, you will want to gravitate towards those types of jobs. I like being alone or focused on my thoughts while I'm working. So washing dishes while thinking of new stories or thinking of what I need to get done in my comics is perfect for me, because I don't have to communicate too many with customers. I can just focus on my own solitary task, get in the flow of that, think about what I'm trying to do, and then when I get home, and just execute, and I don't have to worry about anything else. Some other people are more focused on are better with sales because they're extroverted. They can talk to people, and they like talking to people. They like getting to communicate with people, so they'll be better at maybe a sales job or a phone job, like a call center. Basically, you just want to get the type of job that you have the capacity for and that allow you the most time to work on your comics. Some people will have kids, some people will have a spouse, and they'll need to get a job that's based around that. But if you go based on the criteria that I just gave to you, 5 criteria. It's easy to do, doesn't create mental stress, makes enough money, and doesn't tire you out physically. And then the 5th one, no variability in hours. It allows you to go there and come home at the same time pretty much every day, so that you don't have to worry like, oh, I'm gonna have to stay overtime for this or that reason. You just know when you're going to get on and get off of work. I used to think of Harvey P. Carr, the creator of American Splendor, and how he would work at I think as a file clerk for a hospital. And he did that for, I think, 20 years before he ever made it with his comics. And I was like, that couldn't be me. That couldn't be me, though. I thought I was going to get a job straight out of the Kubert School and start working in comics immediately. Either get a penciling job for some creator or an inking job or something that would get me into the industry in any way possible. I ended up doing colors at the start of my career. But right now, it's just I'm focused on creating Air Rider and getting Air Rider off the ground, because I know that the more time that I focus on creating other people's works and building their work up, I'm taking time away from creating Air Rider and building Air Rider up. And I know only one of those is going to be the ticket to my freedom. And so I have to find a way to put more and more stock into creating Air Rider and building that up as a property over time, and using this job to allow me the space, time, and energy to build that into what it needs to become. I plan for it. I know what I'm going to do. I know how I'm going to execute on it. And the results will be worthwhile. I hope you'll follow me to that endpoint. To be honest, at work, I'm no different from an NPC, which means a non-playable character in video game parlance. What I mean by that is I only give stock answers to almost any question they ask me. I don't have a personality, don't have a life, don't have I give no indication that I want to be a friend or an ally or whatever. I'm only there to work, answer questions that are asked of me, and do what I'm supposed to do until it's time to go home. I'm not trying to make friends. I'm just trying to do my job. I'm not even trying to get girls. I've had it to where a girl will be touching on my arm. A coworker will be touching on my arm just to feel if I'm well equipped for the job. And the most I'll say is, yes. That is my arm. And move on from there. I'm not trying to get fired. I'm not trying to get a lawsuit. I'm just trying to do my job and go home. But if I'd known she was going to quit the next week, I might have reconsidered. But yeah, that's how it is at work, so that I can keep my peace of mind and focus on my job outside of work, my career, what I actually care about. I don't want to make friends and take that home with me. I just want to do what needs to be done and move on. But I'll tell you something, and I'll make this my last point. Working while poor is something else. It's not that I'm living poor. I have enough food to eat every single day. I work out and am able to stay healthy. It's just that when you don't have the money to be able to do the things that you need to do, it's like you're walking on eggshells. Anything that I spend money on, I have to be very conscious about what I'm spending my money on. And I get scared to even drive my car on the highway or leave my house for extended periods because an accident or a ticket or anything could set me back years, not months, years, in terms of financial ability and time. Getting injured, I don't even skate anymore because if I get an injury or something like that, the medical expense that will take from my paycheck is insanity. I can't skate anymore because I know that my financial situation is so fragile that anything that I do can upset it. If my car breaks down, that's gonna cost me. If my computer breaks down, that's gonna really cost me. Any piece of equipment I can't afford to replace immediately, so I have to make use of what I've got and push it as far as it can go without breaking it. Same with my body. If I get sick, I'm just going to work. I can't stop for anything. I have to just keep going. It's to a point where I can't stop working no matter how sick I get. Because if I stop working for long enough, I won't make enough money to pay off the medical expenses that it would cost to fix me. So if I get sick or injured or what have you, I'm going straight to work the next day. I'm going to figure out some way to make money, some way to get through it, and some way to go forward with it. Because if I stop at a certain point, then the window of opportunity for the future that I want closes and closes to the point where it's no longer possible. So while I have my good health, while I have a sharpness of mind, I'm bringing that to bear on every single task that I'm doing so that I can dig myself out of the debt that I'm in, dig myself out of the poverty situation I'm in. It doesn't look like abject poverty, but it's not a good money situation where I have to penny pinch with everything. I can't do the things that I want to do. I haven't really gone out of my house to have a lot of interactions with a lot of people or other friends, or I haven't made new friends or had any relationships. It's just focused on the grind, and not out of quote unquote grind set culture or hustle culture. It's just I need to keep going and I can't stop. It's an urgency. It's I have no choice. I have to do this, because if I don't take full advantage of this opportunity that I have right now, then that closes forever. I have my health. I'm young. I have sharpness of mind. I have strength. And I have the ideas. And I'm in the exact perfect situation to capitalize and execute on them. And if I waste this time playing video games or fucking around with friends or girls or whatever, then all of that goes out the window. And the mastery that I aim for in my comics and in my art and my writing, that becomes that much harder to actually hit in the future. So I want you to ask yourself this question for yourself in your own life about your own situation. What are you aiming for? Are you in the right window of opportunity to go all in 100% on hitting that goal? And are you doing everything within your capacity to try to hit it? Because even now, with everything I'm doing, I know that I'm not doing 100% of everything I could be doing. I know I could work a little harder. But sometimes, man, I just need to lay down and just call it a day. Because doing 100 different things at once is, let's just say it's a little tiring. Just a little bit. But ask yourself that question. What kind of opportunity do you have, and are you capitalizing on it? Because for me, the reason why I put so much work in now, put so much hustle in now, is because I know it'll be worth it in the future when I can dictate what I want to do with my day. That's all I'm fighting for. The ability to dictate what I can do with my day and to make as much money as I want and to create what I want and not be beholden to any outside entity, to any publisher telling me what I can and cannot create. I'd only be beholden to you, my supporters, my fans, everyone who enjoys my work. You're the only person that I actually care about their opinion on what I do. And so that's why I put up with all this. That's why I create and put myself through all this stress so I can actually put out something of quality. Because I know my future wife, future kids don't want me to give up now. They want me to put in that work so that they can have a good life. And that's really all that matters to me. If you've backed Air Rider, thank you so much for dropping in on the campaign. And I can't wait to send out your books, and I can't wait to make more in the future. And that's pretty much it. I'll see y'all in the next one. Peace.
16 years ago, a mad gunman devastated the halls of Cobalt High. Now, in a school haunted by the memory of a past massacre, the delinquent son of the school shooter, Eric Vaughan, must take on a new role as a vigilante when his only friend is injured by a mysterious student with superhuman abilities. Outmatched and outnumbered, Eric must face off against a wave of masked enemies tied to his school's dark history. Can Eric become the hero his school needs and undo the sins of his father? He's only got one shot. Don't miss. 90s and early 2000s era cartoon lovers, rejoice. Your comic is here. Take fight with Air Rider High School Hero today. Only on
Kickstarter.